Okay, here we are, Sanctum 2. Another video, another day, another run at one of the levels. Now, in the last video, I failed to complete one of the challenges, the one of the levels, and I can't remember the name of that level. The name of that level was Canopy. So, I failed it, and I went away and I redid it. Unfortunately, because I'm a dildo, I didn't actually record that episode. If you want to see me complete Canopy, I can go back and do it again, just so you can see me complete it. Unfortunately, like I say, I'd recorded a batch record. I'd recorded a number of videos, and I was probably tired or something, and I just didn't record that completion.
Right, let's do this.
I mean, obviously, the failed video, we got all the way to the very end anyway, and we were only 3 or 4 shots away from completing it. So you haven't really missed anything apart from the death of that giant winged demon thing that was the boss in that level. That was the only thing that really changed. Everything else pretty much remained the same. I did unlock some new things. I think a new tower and whatever. This level was a bit weird. I did unlock some new towers, I think, comparatively to what you would have seen last time. This level is really, really weird. Very nicely designed. It's very, very interesting, but I have no idea what we're going to do here. There's like a ramp down there where I can lay blocks, but the little orange line is coming down that ramp. I can block this off, which seems strange to me that I can block off
Killing off vermin.
the bottom of this
One
ramp,
tower
but I'm
at a
going
time.
to. That should stop them coming up here. Block off that ramp as well. Very weird. Very, very weird. It's like out on a branch somewhere. I've got a block. I can't put a block there. That's fine. This is such a crazy level. Look at that. It's amazing. It's a very, very crazy level design. This appears all broken and smashed. This is a little bit weird. Isn't this called highway or something? Isn't it supposed to be a road? It's madness. That's a madness. So I can put blocks here, blocking
This'll
that
do it.
off, stopping them from going somewhere. I don't know if that would actually stop them or not. I don't know. I really wish I understood this layout more than I currently do. So I can't block them off from there. The actual, for this first round, the looms are coming from the depths of doom on my left, so I can't block them off there. I mean, sorry for the going around in circles here and generally dithering, but I'm just trying to work out what the fucking hell is going on with this map layout. I just don't understand it in the slightest. It really is just befuddling to me. I can put stuff down there. It looks like there will be a wave of enemy coming from down there, but there's also 2 waves of enemies coming from up here. My cord's in a dead centre. I just can't get my head around this. I can block them off from going down there, so where do they go after that? So now it's changed. They are apparently going down this branch. So if I block that branch off, what happens? They still carry on going down the branch. No, I can't put one. I can't put one there. So I'm guessing that means that Yeah, no, I really can't block that off. So they will go down that branch, and then if they go down that branch, where in God's name do they end up? Coming up this branch? It would seem so. Little orange lights going down there, around there, up there. And then up here. Yeah, so they're coming up this branch. So they go all the way down that side, across here, that central platform, then up here. And then where does this little orange fucking light go? I can't block. Ah, they're going down there, so can't block that off. Can put something just on this side of it, which will mean they have to go around it. So that this seems like a good plan. If we try and make this whole situation difficult for them, I don't know why I'm sticking on there necessarily. I don't know. I'm just so very confused about this. Mostly because, you know, this first wave, fair enough, simple enough. They're going to come out of here, they're going to go down there, go around there, and do whatever they're going to do. But I'm trying to think ahead to the other waves that we're going to come across, and what they're going to be doing, and where they're going to be going. It's just baffling to me as to how this is all going to work out in the end. Usual deal with that wall is just to make their journey that little bit longer.
This is gonna get him.
And we'll stick down one of those because they usually blast the enemy in the face just how we like it. And then we need to stick another one here because they will have to go down this ramp to the core, so they'll get modded there. And I guess I am going to have to do some extra work here myself, actually get involved. I just don't know, I mean, they're going to be coming up there. Worth blocking that off, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some work with the gun here, because I don't think those two barriers are going to be enough really to deal with the waves of enemy that are going to be coming through. So let's just give that some more power, and then
Here they come.
see what this is about. I do hate those warriors, I really do. He's actually coming for me as well. Go back, you bastard. Yeah, I mean, he's just being blasted by that because he's coming back to me again. Ton of energy, ton of damage. I mean, they are the shittiest of enemies. Let's get the shit out of this rhino.
Demolished.
Doesn't look anything like a rhino to me. And I think, yeah, I don't think there's anything more coming out there. So they'll be coming up round past this second electric gun on the other side soon. I'm liking the fact that they have to run all the way down there and run all the way up there. It does give me time to attack on that side and then come back and attack on this side. So if we had some more weaponry on the way, then he wouldn't have full fucking health when he got there, which would make my life so much easier than it currently is. Oh, he's going back in there. He's going back in the darkness there for a second. Step out of the darkness and into the light. David Hasselhoff told you that back in whenever Baywatch was on television. So that first wave wasn't particularly difficult in the end. This one doesn't look particularly horrible either in terms of the actual enemies that are coming out. Those shit little snorkely things coming out on the other side, and then we've got like pups and whatever else. So that was blue for a second, but now it's red, so I absolutely cannot block them off here. But I can block off here. I don't know if that's worth doing or not.
This'll do it.
So let's just see. No, now I can't block off where they're going. I need to get my head around the layout of this map more. I need to be able to slow them down more than I'm slowing them down as we go forward. I mean, like I say, that first wave wasn't particularly difficult in the end, and I don't suppose this second wave will be particularly difficult to deal with either, but I can only imagine as we go forward the enemies are going to get more and more, and they're going to get difficult. You know, they're going to be bigger enemies, they're going to be harder to deal with, as well as being more numerous in number. So really I kind of want to just probably investigate some of this level. I really need to stop them. I really need to slow them down. It's just not. They've got a too easy walk through to the core. I mean, on either side they have a straight down walk. There's nothing stopping them. So I'm kind of confused. You have to let one way through, you have to let one side, because there's 3 entry points and exit points, or whatever you want to call them, because there's 3 of them, you can't block off both ramps down to the core, which means that one side has free and easy access to the core, because they've got a really short run to the core, which baffles my mind entirely. So probably what I need to do here is try and make that walk to the core that little bit longer than what it currently is, by placing as many barriers as possible down.
Killing off vermin, one tower at a time.
So hopefully they should have to walk around the end bit there and then come down here, which will slow them down a little bit. And then in future waves I'll just keep adding to the amount of blocks they have to go around, and then that should hopefully mean that they are dead by the time they get anywhere near the end. Let's power that bad boy up again, as they all have to go past it before they reach the core. Now the bigger enemies are on that back side, but they are going to take longer to get to the core than this side. So I think what I'm going to do is protect this side from these little snorkely things. As they are relatively easy for me to deal with. And those other enemies can just take an eternity to walk around the entire map to get to me. Talk amongst yourselves. I've got some aliens to kill. When you start up doing these videos, if you've ever bothered to start doing these videos, you kind of think it's going to be easy. You think to yourself, yep, it's going to be nice and simple. You know, you've just got to play a game and talk about the game you're playing. I mean, what's difficult about that exactly? It's only when you realise that you have to constantly talk for 40 minutes about a computer game that you're playing. And computer games are relatively repetitive. I mean, you know, the aliens come out, I shoot them, the aliens come out, I shoot them, the aliens come out, I shoot them. There's not a whole lot that differs, and if you really think about it now, when was the last time in a conversation you just spoke for 40 minutes continuously? You generally don't. You're interrupted, other people give you their viewpoints, you bounce off what other people say in the conversation. You know, they have something to say, you say something back, you humorous or whatever else. And then you're sat here by yourself, all alone, playing a game, talking to yourself. It's actually really, really difficult to fill that amount of time.
That seems to be all of
It's
it.
far more difficult than I ever imagined it would be. Especially if you're trying to be interesting and or entertaining in some way, shape or form, because you have to really think about what you're saying and what you're doing. I don't know there's any point in most of these blocks I've got down here. They don't seem to really be doing anything to extending the walk time of the enemy here. I think we'll just get rid of all of them. Again, I'm kind of baffled. There's now a third wave coming at me from a different direction. It has one of those large tank creatures, or the heavy armoured creatures, which will take a lot of hammering, as they always do. And, you know, I need to find a way to slow them down. I am taking my own life into my hands here. I'm usually, you know, falling off of stuff and dropping shit on my head. Walking down a precarious branch into oblivion doesn't seem like my best plan ever. Ooh, glowing green stuff. So I can just lay stuff at the bottom of this branch, which seems like it might be smart to me, as all the creatures have to come up this way. I mean, like literally all of them. Now, apart from that one tier at the top that apparently they can just walk to my core through, that's probably where I'm going to have to stand and protect continually. I'm just going to move that just so that if they go either side of it, they are hit by it. I might just block that end off so they have to
This'll do it.
walk around it. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how this will actually work. Really? I can't work out where they are. They going up the back, around the back of all these walls? I can't tell by that mini-map. I'm obviously, spatial awareness is not as good as I thought it was. Looking at it, they seem to be going around the end of it and up. So they're not actually going to go past that electric gun necessarily. If they stick to the far right of the branch, they can avoid it. But I can block it off. It's blue. I mean, I can actually put them here and block off this end entrance. So they're really not going through there, are they? They're going in down the end somehow. Well, I can put more blocks down there. So where the fucking hell is the end of the rainbow here? I'm gonna remove that so we can walk through. And then we're going to just run to the end here. And so we can't put a block there. So they're literally coming out of the darkness there through that space, and all the others are running across the front of this thing, but they're not going up that ramp because they have a block at the bottom of it, which is fantastic. We'll leave that as it is. That's fine. But they must, if I put a block in there and then there, they must be going around this end one. I would guess. Those enemies that are actually in the loom, I don't suppose will even come out that way. Or in the darkness, I should say. Won't even go past that. I don't know. we're basically just hitting and hoping here. I try to, you know, make it as strategical as humanly possible, but I think I'm just running around in circles, placing blocks down at this point. Let's just make this walk a little bit longer for them. So that we get some separation between the enemy waves to some degree. If I try and hit them as soon as they come out, that might be a good thing. But try and avoid being shot myself, which I'm not going to do. Well, I'm sandwiched between two enemies. I'm still being struck by something. I don't know what. So obviously those enemies at the bottom of the ramp there have started to make their way up. I don't imagine the enemies from the other far side of the go down the entire map will be troubling us anytime too soon. But this is not good for us so far.
That's gotta hurt.
That rock is not really very powerful. Let's just carry on here with this plan. It seems like a good plan in general. And there we go, there's this big armoured heavy thing that no one likes to see. And it still has an absolute shit ton of energy left. Look at this weird crappy walking angle. I'm doing no damage whatever these shots. It's still got 2/3 of its energy left, which is not good. See kids, you know, stay in school, learn mathematics, learn comment on YouTube videos, you can use fractions. It's impressive really. It's entirely. So we know down to 1 there. And it's obviously now doing damage to the ball. Something I didn't really want to happen this early on. We do have that 10% refresh rate on it. So, as long as not too much more damage is done to it, it should hopefully get most of its energy back, if not go back to full energy. But considering this soaker does exactly that when the damage, it just soaks it, I'm hoping it won't do too much damage to the actual core itself when it gets there. If it had this much energy and was extremely powerful, it might be a tad unfair, but there are more to go here, which is entirely unfortunate. I'll wear this shit down. I may have chosen the wrong towers for this level, but then I didn't know what this level was when I chose the towers, so we may have to reconsider our tower choices at the end of this level. For the next level, because I haven't really used the amplifier. I don't know if you I can't remember if the video before had the amplifier in it, or whether I gained that in the video you didn't get to see. This is called the amplifier. Basically, just when you put it down, it amplifies any weapon that's nearby, and every weapon has more amplification. So it starts off at 13%, so everything does 13% more damage than it would have done as long as it's within the sphere of influence of the amplifier. So if you've got a cluster of guns in a circle or in an area, having the amplifier nearby can obviously give you a relatively cheap way of getting more damage out to the enemy simply and easily. However, if you do not have that set up, you don't have that situation whereby you do that, then it's somewhat of a waste of power, I think. And so far, we haven't really used that amplifier. My core is being attacked. What's my core being attacked by? What has got me so good? Well, my core taking damage is not something I'm excited about, but there's just a constant wave of enemy here, so it's not like I can really do much about it for a second. I am just being hammered here. And there we go, I've just been punched across to the level. Maybe I can see something's firing at the
I'm back.
what they call here, from a distance it would seem. So it looks like maybe the screamers that are walking up that ramp, or twig or branch or whatever the hell it is, the tree from Avatar. They're kind of firing from range core, which kind of presents me with something of a problem in that I can't really stop that from happening at all, unless I stop them from going up the branch. But then if I stop them going up the branch, I have to allow them straight easy access to the core, which doesn't seem like a particularly smart idea. So yeah, I don't honestly know. Oh, good, he's dead. Jesus. Oh, I do hate those fucking creatures. I mean, they are the way. And that rocket, for my money, smashed it straight in its testicled head. And yet, I bet you any money when I go and shoot those fucking things in the face, it's going to have had no damage done to it by those towers whatsoever. There you go, look. Absolutely no damage done. So it's all on me. Destroying them, which I don't mind, you know, at the end of the day it's a first person shooter slash tower defense game, so something of a stupid idea from actually doing the first person shooting. It might just be a tower defense game. But it would be nice if my towers could at least help me out a little bit here. Because once these bastards start wobbling their head around, they are a bitch to kill. I'm not actually going to make it to my core and start bashing it, which is never good. I do like that light effect in the sun or whatever that is. It's not the sun obviously because this isn't enough, so it's 100% true, but a sun, or a giant star.
That seems to be all
Light coming through. My core is in a bad way. Even with the 10% regen, I think with 5 levels left it would have to never be touched again to go back to full health. So we've got more snorkelers, we've got some more soakers, and then we've got another one of those
killing off vermin. One tower at a time.
goddamn fucking tank creatures, whatever they're called, heavies, armoured heavy. This is the amplifier, so hopefully it's hard to see its frigging range. I wonder if is there a top down view? I am just missing, maybe I'm not. Everything within its range, obviously as you upgrade it, its range gets wider and it gets more powerful, but I'm hoping it's at least putting 2 of those towers in its grip. I might need to move those other towers closer to this thing in order to get the real benefit out of it. I don't know. I've been saying that the whole way through this entire playthrough. This video is mostly just me not knowing what the fucking hell I'm doing. More so than usual, to be fair. I am not known for knowing what I'm doing for the most part. That amplifier didn't seem to be doing enough, really, where it was. We've got that tank creature coming through. That little drone doesn't bother to deal with armour, it just churns through it, so we will go with that in the hope that it will burn through some of those crappier enemies for us. Again, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put as many blocks as I can in their way so that their walk to the core is that much longer. so that I can mop up as many of the other enemies before having to deal with whatever hell's coming out of that side. The snorkelers, or whatever they call them, don't bother me. Good electric guns to the face, and they don't seem to be such an issue anymore. The soakers are a pain in the ass. Hopefully they don't do too much damage to the core. That's really just that armoured heavy this round that is probably of some concern to us. I do love that whole situation. Oh, I always have to reload it at one time. So, those bad boys are always a bitch to kill, and I hate them immensely. The Walker Warriors. The drone kicked me off there. Go on, Droney. Doing a nasty one. So they are going to make it through, which is unfortunate. I don't think there's going to be enough damage done to them before they reach it. Oh, that one's dead at least. The other one will make it through to the core, probably with some damage, but the core will be damaged to it. So, being as we have two armoured heavies here, and they take such a drop of energy or damage, I'm going to have to try and work on these. I don't think the other one's going to be even barely touched by the time it gets down here, and I haven't even managed to kill this one yet. I still have those soakers to do it. So let's just say this is not a good day at the office. The Sanctum team here. As we again stare up at the arsehole of a giant creature and try and electrocute it. Now, he has taken a fair amount of energy, roughly 1/3 of the energy left. So that's not as horrible as it could have been, which I'm pleased about. But I don't know how much damage they do. I imagine it's a fair amount. My core is getting bigger by the second here. He is now dead, and you have this soaker. Oh, that's a fair bit of damage from it as well. So separating them out and making them walk further seems to be a good thing, to give those guns more time to focus on one enemy rather than 7 or 8. Fuck my core, and you get 975 energy left. Even with the 10% regain, that really does mean we can never let anything through to that core ever again. And that's kind of disappointing that not that much damage has been done to this one, considering the other ones went fairly well. But we're going to end his miserable life and deal with his friend here, who hopefully will take an absolute beating in his way to us here. Not really a whole lot of damage done to him, to be fair, considering he's having missiles drop straight in his bulbous head here. Everything seems to be relatively sexual in this game.
For now.
Maybe that's just my interpretation of it. Maybe it's like a Rorschach test. Maybe it's not all about vaginas, arses and penises, but they all look like vaginas, arses and penises to me. So maybe now is a good time for the amplifier. Put it in, get it to cover those two guns, as I don't really have the resources to build a tower and do much upgrading. I don't know if you have noticed, but the amount of resources we're given on this particular level are quite low considering the enemies we face here. You know, whatever, we'll deal with it, I suppose. But I have noticed that this is relatively stingy on the resources front. And we're going to have to so hopefully we can get some nice easy kills here, which will thin the amount of enemies out somewhat. I don't know why he just fired across the floor. Ah, good. that whole explosion thing when they die, doing some amount of damage to their friends, works out extremely good when they bunch up. Try and stay out of the way as you can make this shit go down. So I've not have to be respawning somewhere. Quite a lot has got through now. Considering our core only had like 900 health or whatever left. That's not good at all. So it doesn't look we've gone up. It doesn't seem like too much damage got done, if any damage at all. I mean, I'm not happy about being smacked in the face by this thing, but if he focuses on me instead of the core, then we live to see another day. For the time being, anyway. So, let's see what we've got here. Oh, my favourite creatures that usually explode me off the side of the map with their crappy. Here we go. Boom. Ooh, not quite off of the map though, so screw you, buddy. A couple of little pups to kill. Remember, you know, they're not just for Christmas. Walker pups. Yeah. We need to go around all the levels putting in safety rails so that when these bastards kick off I have some kind of defense. So we still have something currently. Cool. Oh, it's just a really, really slow one of these. Okay. So I'm going to just let him come to me. Towers will do their job hopefully when he gets here. I really need to find a way of doing some damage to them before they get this far, but I suppose that's really going to happen if they can just walk straight up the hill, because they're not walking. But they can just come straight up here. Again, that rocket seemed to have hit him in the back, which is where the weak spot is, and yet
That seems to be all of them.
it didn't seem even the mildest bit bothered by that. So, we have a boss to deal with. Nothing coming out of there. Nothing coming out of there, so it's literally just that one boss by the looks of it. So that's good, you know, the boss isn't coming out with a shed load of friends, but it is that boss that I couldn't really kill last time. The weak spot on it, protected by a billion ton of armour. Which basically means I am going to have to put my own life in danger, and we might as well just power that up at some point. I think 15 left, make it another level. I need to somehow, some way, get more damage done by these other towers. I don't know, I mean this boss is just such a fucker that I don't really matter what I do here. I didn't realise that boss was coming out on this level, and considering the amount of damage that's been done to our core previously, this may very well be the end of this run. I've kind of recycled the gun over the other side and up this so that its reach is a little bit further, and its damage, or it's now increasing the damage of other towers by 22.5%, which I have no idea how much damage that will actually equate to, because each gun has its own power level. We might as well forget everything and just let this boss do what it's gotta do.
Okay, Get
which
ready.
is just murderous, I think. Yeah. So, as dangerous as this is, heading out onto this branch, I think I'm going to attack it as soon as is humanly possible. Now, its weak spot is here, in the back of the knee. So, this is where I need to focus most of my attention. Much harder to do a machine gun than it is that electric gun, but machine gun does more damage, so what do you do now? Again, we kind of need to attract its attention, keep it focused, and now I'm going to apparently do no damage and die. Don't know if that's some sort of weird glitch in the game. I couldn't seem to get through or under or whatever that creature, and even though it fired forward and I was
Up and at 'em.
beneath and behind it, it still managed to kill me. It sounds like it's charging up to fire at me. Or is it aiming at my core? If it tries to fire at my core from that sort of distance and succeeds, we could be in trouble. It's walking on here, so that's only good as far as I'm concerned. So what I really need to do is distract it long enough, and so it does that, then I can get some damage in on its weak spot, and as you can see by the energy bar, I've done 6,000 damage in the whole time. So I kind of need my towers to start doing their job here. That little gun is going to be virtually nothing at drone. But hopefully these other weapons will... Well, if there was any of them left, they would help me out here. Nice, that's at least 200 damage I've done here. I just need to get out of the way of that for the second. So yeah, has literally obliterated every tower I have. I'm quite fortunate that he's come out on his own here, and he's not come out with a large army at his back. And apparently I'm not hitting that weak spot in the slightest. Which fascinates me. Again, how when I'm underneath him and behind him, and he's aimed forward and locked in on a forward point, I can still die. The splash damage of that particular attack must just be phenomenal. So again, we'll try and attract his attention and then just shoot him right in the back of the knee. Again, fuck living on their planet. The evolutionary situation where they've actually managed to armour themselves to the point of being able to take as much shit. Their planet must be very, very harsh. So I think the damage I'm doing here, plus the damage the core will be doing to it after it attacks, managed to get it into the low numbers here. Might actually kill it. Yes. So we have managed to save our core, but I imagine it's in a worse for wear situation. So now, obviously, the level straight after the boss is a timed level because the game's a bastard, and I now have to go around and rebuild all my towers very, very quickly. Jesus, there you go. Wouldn't be a Sanctum playthrough with me if I didn't drop my tower on my stupid dumb head. I need to rebuild as much of this as possible before that time runs out, because this was my only defence and plan. Without it, we are kind of screwed. So I'm not really going to be able to do much in the way of adding other towers here. So I'm out of time. I managed to rebuild everything that was there. Those flying creatures are annoying. But they're bunched up, which could be good.
optimal.
They seem to have got a lot more powerful with their attacks. Jesus Christ, I'm close to death. My word. Yeah, it's like virtually impossible to open that. Onslaught, and something again is attacking my core from distance. It's probably those flying creatures or the screamers, whatever the hell can fire from distance from that. Yeah, it's the screamers firing down at that's the screamer matriarch at that, and I'm dead again, and there is our defeat. I don't know what I can do about those screamers and flying creatures firing from distance and doing damage. That's really, really irritating. And as a defeat goes, I kind of don't know that I could have done much more differently, really. I will take a look at the towers, I will have a rethink on what I do with those, and we will try again on Roadworks in the next episode. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, whatever you feel is good, and I'll see you next time. Bye!